Friends, let me continue. Okay. Some may have lived in forests close to animals and chosen to ride their fights and friendships. Yes, even though to friendship time for ourselves, we are fighting with them. No, others read real accounts of kings and queens and wrote stories about love and honor. Some dipped into their own childhood memories of school and friends and wrote stories of adventure. Yeah, if you being a story writer, you can write any stories also. Imagine if all the storytellers and writers that you have heard and read so far were forced to live in a place where all people wore the same two colors, red and white, ate the same food, maybe potatoes. Yeah, North Indian and ourselves also, we are eating lot of aloo. Aloo means what? Potato. Took care of the same two animals, for example, the deer and the cat, and to entertain themselves, played snakes and ladders. It's an entertainment for what kind of stories do you think they would write? Like that, what are the story if you want to write? Okay, that is a question they are asking here. See, imagine that you are a writer or artist who lives in the place described above. Either write a story or draw a picture of your life here. See here, they have drawn something like that. No, so you just write anything. Do you think you would enjoy living in a place like this? List 5 different things that you would miss most if you lived here. It means you are living here, but you have missed something. What are the things? Just write 5 things about that. Then see the next one. Diversity in India. India is a country of many diversities. We speak different languages, have various types of food, celebrate different festivals, practice different religions. So what is mean diversity? Types of food, celebrate different festivals, practice different religions. But actually, if you think about it, we do many things that are similar except that we do them in different ways. How do we explain diversity? How we can explain it? A little more than 200 years ago or long before the train, aeroplane, bus or car became a part of our lives. People traveled from one part of the world to another in ships, horses, camels or on foot. Those days, 200 years ago, they have said. So nowadays we are using buses, trains, bullet trains, metro trains, whatever it is, scooty, like that. Is it? So however, what are the things they are used in ancient days? Camel, horses, bullock carts, then foot by foot. Okay, see here. List at least 3 different ways in which people in India to do the following. One of the possible answers has been provided for you already. Different ways in which people pray. Through singing hymn. Hymn means Punitha Kavidai. Then Bible. Then Quran. Different ways in which people get married. Through signing a register in the court. Then in front of a lot of people, itself they have been conducting a marriage, like that. Different ways in which people dress. See here, Manipur women wear fanak. Kashmiri people wore salwar kameez. Indian people, Tamil Nadu people wore sari. Different ways in which people greet each other. Jharkhand people always say joga. In Malayalam people they will say namaskar, namaste. Sorry, Hindi people only say namaste. In Tamil people we say vanakkam. Different ways in which people cook rice. Biryani with meat or rice, the vegetable. Then North Indian people cook roti, chapati, aloo curry, like that. South Indian people cook vada payasam, idli, rava, dosa, like that. Often they went in search of new lands or new places to settle in or for people to trade with. And because it took so long to travel, once they got to a place, people stayed there, often for a long time. Many others left their homes because there were famines and drought. Famine and drought means panjam varachi, and they could not get enough to eat. Yeah, during those times we could not get a food for eating. Some went in search of work, while others left because there was a war. Yeah, even though war time, the locality people they will move from there. Sometimes, as they began to make their homes in new places, people began to change a little, and at other times they managed to do things in old ways. So their languages, food, music, religions became a mix of old and the new. Yeah, even though for their locality based, they will change and they will change their attitude. New and different. Sorry. I have stopped here. And out of this intermixing of cultures became a mix of the old and the new. And out of this intermixing of cultures came something new and different. Yeah, each and every state following some of the different cultures. The history of many places shows us how many different cultural influences have helped to shape life and culture there. Thus, regions became very diverse because of their unique histories. Even though each and every person have a unique style, like that even every state also have some unique histories. Similarly, diversity also comes about when people adapt their lives to the geographical area in which they live. For example, living near the sea is quite different from living in a mountainous area. Not only do people have different clothing and eating habits, but even the kinds of work they do are different. In cities, it's often easy to forget how closely people's lives are tied to their physical surroundings. This is because in the city, people seldom grow their own vegetables and grain. Instead, they depend on the market to buy all the food and other goods that they need. Let's try to understand what we mean when we say that historical and geographical factors influence the diversity of a region. Historical means what is the past happened on the region. Geographical means how is the land, how is the climate, like those information we can study in geographical factor. We can do this by reading about life in two different parts of the country, Kerala and Ladakh. Kerala is a coastal area. Ladakh is a plateau dry area. Look at the map of India. This is the Ladakh place. This is the Ladakh. This is our mountain. It's a fully desert. Look like a desert. Look at the map of India in an atlas and locate Kerala and Ladakh. Can you list three ways in which the different geographical location of these two regions would influence the following? The food people eat. What is the food of people eat? In Kerala, they will eat dry fish, rice. But Ladakh people eat roti, chapati, like that. The clothes they wear. They wore sari, but it's too different. But Ladakh people wore salwar kameez. The work they do, they will catch the fish and boating, like that. For here, they will do what is the main work they can do, like that they can do. It's fully about on Ladakh. Nowadays also we have fight in near to the Ladakh area only. India and China, they are fighting now. That's where it is happened. in Ladakh. Ladakh is a desert in the mountains in the eastern part of the Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here. Since this region does not receive any rain and is covered in snow for a large part of the year, there are very few trees that can grow in the region. For drinking water, people depend on the melting snow during the summer months. Yeah, drinking water also is the biggest drawback in the Ladakh area. People here keep sheep, and the sheep in this region are special because they produce pashmina wool. Pashmina wool they can get from yak. This wool is priced and pashmina shawls cost a lot of money. The people in Ladakh carefully collect the wool of the sheep and sell this to traders from Kashmir. Pashmina shawls are chiefly woven in Kashmir. Yeah, because of they had a lot of cold severely. The people eat meat and milk products like cheese and butter. Each family owns some goats and cows and deserts. Deserts means yak cows. Being a desert did not mean that Ladakh did not attract its share of traders. It was considered a good trade route as it had many passes through which caravans traveled to what is today called Tibet. For the places we can call Tibet. These caravans carried textiles and spices, raw silk and carpets. So we have carpets, lot of shawls like shining and somewhat weight, that everything we can get from North India. Last year, even though in 5th standard also I have explained about Ladakh place in your lesson, is it? See. Buddhism reached Tibet via Ladakh. Ladakh is also called Little Tibet. Islam was introduced in this region more than 400 years ago, and there is a significant Muslim population here. Ladakh has a very rich oral tradition of songs and poems. Local versions of the Tibetan national epic, the Khazar Saga, are performed and sung by both Muslim and Buddhist. So what is the language they are using? The Buddhism and Hindi and some Urdu. Next about Kerala. Kerala is a coastal area southwest of our India. It's located. Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. It is surrounded by the sea on one side and hills on the other. A number of spices like pepper, cloves and cardamoms are grown on the hills. It's spices that made this region an attractive place for traders. Jewish and Arab traders were the first to come here. The apostle of Christ, St. Thomas, is believed to have come here nearly 2000 years ago, and he is credited with bringing Christianity to India. Even though the British people, how they have come in India, during the Kerala route only they have come in India. Which route they have taken in past days? Kozhikode, near to Kochi, that area only they have come in India. Many Arab traders also came and settled down here. Ibn Battuta, who travelled here a little less than 700 years ago, wrote a travelogue. Travelogue means write about the travel. That's history we have to say travelogue, which he describes the lives of Muslims and says that they were a highly respected community. The Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama landed with his ship here. Yeah, Vasco da Gama is the main character. Because of all these various historical influences, people in Kerala practice different religions such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism and Buddhism. The fishing nets used here look exactly like the Chinese fishing nets and are called Chinawala. Even the utensil used for frying is called chinachatti, and it's believed that the word chin could have come from China. The fertile land and climate are suited to growing rice, and majority people here eat rice, fish and vegetables. Especially mostly they will eat dry fish. Okay students, we will continue those things next class. Thank you. Is there any doubt? Ask into the group. Thank you students.